it on max view with the little pyramid, it's going to shrink the circles and bring up more visual in my world for me to view. Once we do that, okay, here we are. This is my number 10. If Gail puts the cursor on a circle to bring up a little box. Yeah. Okay. This little information box allows me to do certain things for the view that I'm looking at. All right? If I want to make this center now at the top of the page and view everything underneath it, I can click Make Top. So I moved my cursor over onto Make Top in the blue box and click. The screen will refresh, and now I've got a bird's eye view of a particular section of my downline. But we got to get it back on the screen. Sorry. Here we go. So now, this is I'm looking at everything that falls under. If you move the cursor onto the yellow, Gail, it's probably off the screen. Another little box pops up that tells you. Oh, those bars. Yeah. Is that showing? That's weird. Okay. Well. Okay. There we go. So it tells you I can edit the center, I have the upline report, and I have make top. We just made that top. We're seeing everything that flows underneath. If I were to hit my upline report, oops, come back. Click on the upline report. Yeah, I know, sorry.
That's okay.
This is the first time we've tried to do this for you guys. So now it's telling me if I place sales under that number 10 business center, the number 10, not the ones below it, it's telling me all of the business centers that placement is going to hit. So if I put a Pro Set, which is a biomat and pillow, a sale, 3 business centers, under my number 10, directly at the bottom of my number 10, not at the way bottom, but the number 10 center, it's going to affect, I'll get 3 on my 10 left. It's telling me where this is living in relationship to my number 1 business center. So 10 lives on the left. I'm going to get 3 centers on my 10, on my 8, 6, 4, 2. So when I'm looking to make a placement, I can click on that upline report, and I can see if I put a sale here, this is how it's going to affect not only my business centers, but there could be other people, and we'll click on some other ones that have other names in there, you know, your other people with sales, your other distributors, and how it's going to affect them and what centers of theirs are also going to get 3 points added up to theirs on their statements. If you go click on the back, it'll take you back to the binary viewer. Okay. And then we can do a search. So I want to look for John Minotti, okay? So if I click on the search thing and I put in either John or Minotti and click search, first or last, it gives me everybody in the binary system with the name of John. I now scroll through this list until I find, oh, there's DJ. Some of you guys will see yourselves.
Look at all these people in your world.
There's John. So now I put my cursor, it tells me how many business centers John has in his name in my world, okay? So now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I click over here on jump, it's going to take me to John's number 1 business center. Now John and his wife are both diamonds. Sandra, his wife, actually sponsored John. He's not my diamond, he's Sandra's diamond. And his 2 sons also do the business with them. So they're a whole biomat family. So now I'm in John's world. John is asking me, boy, you know, where do I need to go? I really need to start getting regular payouts. Here's my business builders. We have a conference call. We pull him up on the computer. He's looking at his computer. I'm looking at mine. He's pointing out to me his business builders and telling me which side is strong, left or right. You know, we can come up with a strategy to see what we can start getting him to get payouts first. I can also look to see where I've placed business centers in his world, so that if I decide to place business centers in that world to get him going and help him, it's not only helping me but him. So I want to place my free business centers in a strategic place for him that's going to help him as well. So it might be that He calls me up and he goes, I really got to get this side going. And I have free business centers that I haven't placed yet. I might say, okay, I'm going to put a free business center under here and we're going to start working this side. Now, it's benefiting me, but it's benefiting John. Does everybody get that concept?
Yes.
Okay. So, if we now, can we show, let's see, where should we go? Let's see, let's just go to a section where there's different colors. Yeah, maybe.
Here's some
Okay.
colors.
So now, the green circles represent actual cash sales of mats. That means they were purchased, all right? Not product certificates, not free centers. A purple square, that's a free business center. So you're getting a visual and it allows you to spot what's happening in your world. Free business centers are not counted towards binary payouts. It's just a place marker for you to build under that will pay you payouts, but they don't actually count when we're going up the road to get 6, 12, or 18, okay? And because we signed in the binary viewer, all my business centers that I personally purchased or my free business centers are going to be gold colored. So my original purchase of 10 were gold circles. All my free business centers are gold. This allows me to find them quickly. Okay, so you're not confusing centers when you're trying to place your sales, and also if you're trying to team up with your distributor to create more. So these are visual tools we put in there for you to help you find, work, and build quickly and easily. So again, my free business center is gold. It's gold because we're signed in on my name. John is purple, that's a free business center. These are all cash sales. By him, by his distributors, it doesn't matter. A sale all flows up, doesn't matter who made it. The only difference is whoever made the sale is going to get the commission. But everybody, the team part is everybody's benefiting from those sales. What else do we have in here? Have any red ones? Do you see? Any red ones? Anybody have any questions at this point about how this is working? There's some reports we're going to show and go into later, but what? The colors? Red, I don't know if there's any in this particular area.
Here's one.
Here we go, here's a red one. Okay, red triangles are business kits. No transaction of cash for a product occurred. This person merely bought a business kit, and you have to view this as a place marker. It's a holding place. This person can earn commissions, but they'll only ever receive 5% commission no matter how much they sell, until they actually make a $1,500 commitment to the company. It's also very hard to sell product if you're not using it yourself. People wonder about that. But perhaps they have a loaner they're working with. So that's one way to overcome that. So this person has a kit. This is not counted when you're counting for binary payouts, just as the free squares, the business centers are not counted. So you're counting green circles all the way up. Again, 6, 12, or 18 in a week. So we have 6 left, 6 right, 12 left, 12 right, 18 left, 18 right in 1 week. Okay? And then you get the payouts. We're going to go, what we'll do is, shall we talk about the business, the kit placement?
Yeah, we might need Victor, who stepped away, or unless you can find the CD drive on.
Oh.
But one thing I wanted to say, when you take Richway's weekly statement that they send you with all of your business centers, whether it's 1, 5, or 185, it gives you the points. So what you do is you take that sheet and you see, well, what one has an 18 and 15, and what one has a 6 and a 3, and you've got 3 points to place. So you start going. I start from the top. There's different ways you can do it. But I might, between that sheet and this binary, in about not more than 60 seconds, you can go through and figure out payouts on about 4 business centers, or 6, or more. And if you're trying to do that from memory, from trying to remember who's in this part of the world and who's in that, or just from Richway's sheet, it could take you hours. So this is a phenomenal tool. It's $10 a month for being able to, make $4,000 in a week. So it's well worth it, and it's a heck of a lot of fun to see all that action and activity happen in a 60-second period.
Go to the back office and we'll go to the business report. One thing to keep in mind, and this is why it's important to keep in communication with your team. Richway's statements are about 2 weeks behind whatever current sales you've made. It could be 2 to 3 weeks. Richway doesn't pay a commission until that MAC has been signed for and the 7-day grace period is passed. Okay? If they mailed in a check, they're waiting for the check to clear. They're waiting for that 7-day, they're waiting for the shipment to go out. They're waiting for the person to sign for it. And then they're waiting for that 7-day grace period. So Richway is not going to pay a commission until they know that person is keeping the MAT. And there's a certain time frame involved. At the top right of your statement, it says week ending date. That statement is reflecting all sales through the week ending that date. So you'll know that it might say 10/3, but here we are, it's 10/29 or whatever, 10/30. Sales have been happening in the meantime that your binary statement don't reflect. Your distributors have been making sales, you've been making sales. Well, where the heck are those sales? What do I do? How am I going to count? Where am I going to place? So in the back office, if you click on reports, she clicked on reports. There's a list of reports that come up that you can learn about, and we've done training sessions on this and we'll do it again. But one of them is the Business Center report. So if you click on the Business Center report, this is a combination of Richway's statement that you just got in the mail, of any current activity that has been placed since Richway printed that statement, so it could be 2 or 3 weeks, and a grand total. So if your people are, you can encourage your people to do their due diligence, and we did this for 2.5, 3 years. We have a phenomenal group. Everybody was so good in cooperating. It only helps them, helps us help you build their worlds. Everybody would call their distributors, or Gail, with their sales for the week, and she would sit there and place these sales so that we knew what was going on. Now we have a computer to do it, and you guys have the ability to put it in yourself, which is tons of fun. This is really a lot of fun once you get it. It's really frustrating up till then, but then once you get it, it's a lot of fun. It's like Monopoly. So what happens is, this is as of 10/10. So you want to look to see how recent the posting is, okay? So if this is upgrade, you want this to be updated and be the most current view. Sometimes we fall behind because they get really busy, and this is downloaded once a week, okay? The current sales and the statement information. So once a week, this is updated. There's 3 sets of columns of left and right. Joyce had to help me learn this. This was another really dense stomach after me. Again, your business center numbers. This is merely an ID number that's important to Richway. I don't know what it means, it's secret, but they know. I think it's their binary placement in their computer system. This is the ID number for that business center. But now you have Richway left and right. This tells you what was on Richway's statement that was paid. So you see here, this is zeroed out. That's because I got a payout from Richway on my #1 center. So it zeroed it out. 18 and 18, it could have been 18 and 6, I don't know, okay? I only know from looking at the statement that I got from Richway, because this is limited information. This has what's been placed in the binary since 10/10, okay? This is all the activity that myself and my distributors have placed in my world that affects them and everybody else. It all flows up, remember? So you can see how lopsided things are. My right side had 100 circles placed. My left side only had 44 that particular way on my #1 center. Then it takes Richway's numbers and the Biomat Company family numbers, and for you independent people, it will be different, okay? So it'll be who's ever in your downline. This column reflects anybody in your downline, okay? Whether you sponsor them or not, that's what that represents. It just says Biomat because that's at my website with the Biomat Company. So. And then this is a total of what Richway says is left there, so 18 and 44, so I have 62 left, 0 right on my #2. Remember that was up at the top, I haven't built on that other side yet. So this is perpetually 18. So you can now take your statements look at the sales you have, and if I cruise down this list, I come over here, here my number 43 business center. I have 3 on the left and 10 on the right. Okay, this is as of Ridgeway statement. No activity has happened for me or any of my downline. This all happened and has been sitting there and posted on the Ridgeway statement. So I know, okay, if I take this ProSet sale, if I want to, and there are other considerations which I'm going to talk about, I stick it here. Now I'm going to have 6 and 10, I get a $400 payout on that. How easy and quick was that? Instead of drawing little circles, trying to remember where everything is, what's going on, who made sales. I'm not guessing at my payout. It's a little more accurate. There's still, it's not concrete, because remember, this is only as good as the data that goes in. So you need to encourage your downline to enter the data in here, because then it's not going to be accurate. And that's happened before for me, where I placed something thinking I was going to get a payout, and it didn't happen because it wasn't an accurate view that I was looking at. So remember, these are tools that we have given you. It's not a guarantee, but it's way better than looking at 3 weeks behind. Okay, at least you have somewhat of an idea of the activity that's happening in your world in this middle column. So when you use Ridgeway's statement, which is here, or your paper statement, and you come look here to see what's happening, it's a quick reference for you to start thinking, okay, I'm going to look at this area and click on it in the binary. Because then if I click on it, I can get to the binary from here. I can't.
What do you want?
Just click on a business center. I want to go to my number, well, let's go here. Let's go to my number 43. So if I click on here, this is now going to take me to my number 43 business center, boom, quick as light. And now I can see, okay, who's in my number 43 business center that I can help? And maybe there's more that I can do here. What other business centers of mine live below my 43? So if we make it, Gail, we'll get there, we go. We'll get that up there. I can start seeing what, what's going on in my world here and where I might want to place, make decisions about where I want to place those 3 centers. Okay? Does everybody, oh, there's Ellen. Yeah, here's Connie. So I know somewhere, I have to look to see if it's left or right for my 43, that if I place a sale there, I'm going to get a payout, and it's going to benefit Connie and Ellen potentially. See how cool this is and how quick? You can build a lot of energy around this.
And also notice that Ellen and Connie are in purple, so those are free business centers that Ellen and Connie got.
Right.
The kind where you get to run to the bank more often.
So many of you know I've had conference calls with everybody who's here about, where should we put this? You've got a sale. You're all so good about calling it. I love it. So now you understand, you kind of get it anyways, because we've been doing this a lot, but this is how you can work with your team to mentor them to success, create some excitement. You've got a visual, and you've got a little more concrete information on the financial side. We're all embarrassed to say we make money from this incredible healing tool. It's very hard for us to accept that, but it's okay. The healing is so important, and it comes, but it's okay that we're making money too, and this is a lot of fun, and this is your reward for that. It's good karma. So now what?
What do you want? Where are we? I don't, you want to see this bra? The CD?
Is Victor here? Yes?
Yeah, I want to get back. If someone bought a kit and they're going to stay at 5%, but say they all of a sudden bought the kit and they sold, say, 10, would that put them up to the level? Or?
No, and that's what we're going to talk about next as soon as we can figure it out, because we're not that techy. But when you buy a kit, no matter how many sales you make, you will only get 5% commission as long as you've only purchased a kit. You'll never get binary payouts, and you will only get 5% commission. If you once you decide to purchase your equipment, all the sales that you made in your name instantly count towards your commission level. So you haven't lost out. It's like a savings bank. Calvin has created, you guys, I'm sure you must realize how generous this pay structure is at so many levels. It keeps paying everybody and waits there for everyone until they decide. It doesn't go away. There's no quotas. Some really quick things to say when you're building your business. There's no territorial restrictions. It's forever deep, forever wide. There's no cutoffs or breakaways. That's multilingual terms that a lot of people know, which is so important. There's no inventory to carry, okay? And there's no auto ship. You can build this business at whatever you want. Your commission level always stays the same. You don't have to constantly rebuild if you stop selling. You can take a sabbatical and not do anything for a year, 5 years. Come back, you're still a diamond. Kelvin and Gina are still gonna pay you the big bucks, even though you did nothing for 5 years. It will all sit there and wait for you. And for everybody else that's there, just sits and waits, and everybody uses those business centers for payouts in their time when it reaches that. So you're not missing an opportunity. It just sits and waits for everybody in that downline, or upline I should say, to take advantage of those sales. And then bing, 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 they start popping at different times. Somebody at the bottom could get a payout before the person at the top. Yeah.
Okay, with your kit, if you only bought a kit, when you decide to purchase, you look at number 1 center where the kit is that correct? Where does your number 2 and 3 go?
That's what we're going to talk about now. Thanks, Peggy.
We got a diagram here.
Yeah, we got it. Okay, he's going to help me out on this because this is one of those things where I just get, you know. Okay, so you buy a kit. When you buy your product, whether it's a month or 3 years from now, you've made a cash purchase. So that red triangle is going to turn into green circles. But in the meantime, sales have been falling below Alice, okay? So, wait, no, here's Alice, okay? She had a kit, but sales have happened, all right? She sold 3 mats to Aaron, she sold 3 mats to Steve. Now Alice has decided to buy a pro set herself, or a water unit. So, the kit, which was a place marker, now needs to have an actual circle there so we can start getting binary payouts. So the number 1 center takes the place of the kit, the red diamond. You still have 2 and 3. You have a choice at this point. The way Richway's computer works, it's left, right, okay? So when sales happen for 1 person in a week, it's going to take those sales in those circles and drop them the number 1, and then it's going to go left, right. So, one scenario is, Alice says to Doreen at Richway for the placement, my number 1 center, Doreen knows is going to replace the kit, but Alice is going to tell Doreen, I want my number 2 and my number 3 to fall below Aaron, number 2 left, 2, 3, because here's number 1, okay? That's gone, that's up there. So now it starts over again. Center, left, right. Okay? So they will be lined up. And this is a more ideal situation, and we'll tell you in a moment why, if you've got this kit scenario going on. If Alice had said, nope, I need to have those sales over here, then what's going to happen again, remember it's going left, right. Yeah, left, right. There's your number 1. So again, it starts again with the placement of number 2, left, right. It's gonna. This number 3 is now falling on the inside. So what's going to happen as she's building this leg? Usually you want to build your outside because that's the strongest and has the most activity as salespeople come underneath that left leg. So those sales are falling under here, leaving this for some distant future to come back and be rebuilt. All right. On this scenario, any sales that Alice places under number 3 are not only hitting number 3, but number 2. Okay? So more centers enter number 1, don't forget, but more centers are taking advantage of that initially. So it really depends on what the strategy is. If she bought a kit on Monday, okay, up here, and by Friday decides I'm buying a water unit, it's the same week. There's a chance that you can still have her 1, 2, and 3 if no other sales are coming in. That's how it will read, because it goes 1, 2, 3. Okay?
This, on the drawing below, it shows you...
This is in your notebook, you guys.
Yeah, you have these. It shows you the difference between figure 4A and 4B. Shows you if Alice had purchased her Pro Mat set at the front, at the beginning all at once, her 1, 2, and 3 are together. If she waits and there are sales, then her 2 and 3 end up down below. They're either going to be lower left or lower right. Right now we have them lower left. And the advantage to having them at the beginning is that now what happens is her 2 and 3 are missing out on all of Erin and Henrietta's activity above. And so if Erin and Henrietta end up being really, really big business people, her 1 is going to benefit, but her 2 and 3 are only going to benefit by half those points, the ones that go down below. But Erin and Henrietta are also going to be building their other legs. So it's far more beneficial to come in with 3 centers.
If you can.
If you can. But you know what? I came in with a kit, and I'm royal family. So anybody who came in with a kit, don't think, oh darn,
Yeah.
I've got a bad start, because I got there. So it doesn't matter. You can still do it anyway. But if somebody says, what's the best way? The best way is a minimum of 3, if not. Some people that are really want to be on top of the business can come in with 10 centers.
Okay, someone just came in with 2 centers the other day, so what happens to that third one when they eventually?
Well, it depends on what the business, what her world looks like. Initially, she'll look like 1, 2. So it'll go 1 and 2 will go to the left. If nothing has happened during that week or subsequent weeks, you can specify that 3 go over there. You always have that option if no activity has happened. Otherwise, she can decide, do I want to put it over here, or maybe it's going to follow her friend because Steve came along.
Okay, 2 weeks later, then what? She buys a mini mat.
Depends on what's happened since. If you've not placed any sales there, or she hasn't placed any additional sales, she can still put it over there. So it doesn't matter when, it's the configuration. The date doesn't matter, except for when you're counting binary points, but it sits and waits.
Does that make sense to everybody? The kit.
And-
It was a little tricky.
Teresa, did you have a question?
You said if you purchased the kit and then you came back the same week and you purchased the water system, then you could still have the 1, 2, 3. My understanding was that the 1 will take the place of the kit and then the 2, 3 will go off to one side.
You know what, come to think of it, I think traditionally you are right. But
But
if
if
there's
it's
no
the same
activity,
week.
yeah.
If it's the same week,
That's how their system is set up to do it, so you need to call and ask, because you're right. Thank you for pointing that out. You're right, because it's a kid scenario.
that's one of the things that Rich Way will work with you on. If you just call them and say, hey, this person thought they only wanted a kit, but now they've changed their mind, they want to do the business, can we have 1, 2, or 3? As long as it's the same week. You can't call the next week and say, I want to put
Right.
it together.
Yeah, thanks, Teresa, you're right.
So if you had somebody that was a kid